Strange and Exotic, Precariously Perched Random Book Review, as I'm faced in a different direction since I'm just sort of, I've got some time and I'm going to try doing this before I forget. That way I can return said library book. And this book is The History Buff's Guide to the Presidents, Top 10 Rankings of the Best, Worst, Largest, and Most Controversial Facets of the American Presidency by Thomas R. Flagle. And I think this was a fairly new one that showed up in the library. This was written in like 2012. I think it kept referring to 2012. So it's a few, yep, 2012. And this book was awesome. Now if you like American history or, you know, interested in like the presidents, well, even American history overall, this has a buttload of information. I mean, usually you'll have like the lists of, okay, the best war presidents, this, you know, random lists, but they just sort of, okay, this guy did that, this guy did that. This at least goes into like the background and the story of why they're on that particular level on that list. And this covers more than like your basic, you know, who's the best president, who's the, you know, worst. You got presidential character, top 10 presidential careers, presidential pastimes, the commonalities between George W. and Barack Obama, elections, and, you know, things that you usually don't find too often on like lists of the presidents. And a lot of things I didn't even really know. I knew now, but I didn't know then. So there, I actually had to like renew the book because it's that I had that much information. It's about 400 pages of total awesome, and they do sort of go at the very, very end, sort of your basic, you know, where the presidents are born, how many were in Iowa, how many did. But this is why I don't film when people are here. But I really, really, really enjoyed this book, and I got it from my local electronic library, which for us is Overdrive, and it actually gives you interesting looks on the presidents. It doesn't go through like every single president right down the list. It just sort of categorizes, like I mentioned before, like the presidential pastimes and, you know, interesting sort of groupings that sort of give you another look of the presidents. But, you know, American history scholars, presidential scholars would love this book. It's really, really well done. It's not, there's a lot of information, but it's not information that it's like, oh, it's so boring to go through. It was a fairly quick read. I mean, I read it in like a couple of weeks. For the electronic books, you get like 14 days, but I wasn't quite sure if I'd finish it in that time. But it gave me a few extra days to get my video up so I can return the book now. Let's see. Different things about foreign affairs, the inner circle. That was very interesting. So it goes into a lot of the little minuscule pieces of information you might not know about a lot of the presidents. So I highly, highly, highly recommend this book. With my cover again. Oh. There we go. The History Buff's Guide to the Presidents. Definitely 5 stars. So yes, if you have a chance to read, do get this. And again, I'm pretty sure this is on Amazon. Is on Amazon in digital format. I'm sure it's there on the physical format. So, highly recommend for all history buffs. Thank you for watching. Do remember to comment, rate, share, and subscribe. There's always room for one more at the Strange and Exotic. See you next time, and happy reading!